Hello, Fear the Meerkat here. Welcome to the final episode of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time's Quest. Hopefully I've improved the sound of this a bit. So yeah, obviously you have to fight Ganon here in much the same way you had to fight Phantom Ganon in the earlier level, the Forest Temple. Showing off the many times I failed here. Basically, the first time I managed to get him, you'll see what I mean in a minute. I showed off my mistakes, and then after that, since I was saving this a lot, and since saving it made the game pause for a second, and since I died a lot, I basically decided, after managing to successfully hit him once, I would then edit out all of the other times when I failed and just show the times when I succeeded. You have to hit him a lot. See, when he's vulnerable, you have to hit him like that. So at first he'll keep on throwing those things at those energy balls or whatever, and then eventually they'll hit him and get him into a place from which you can fire light arrows at him, and then you fire a light arrow, and then when he falls down you go up to him and slash him with your sword, and that's basically it. So just watch this again and you'll see what I mean. See, now it's been hurt and is vulnerable, so you fire the arrow like that, and if you manage to hit him with the arrow, you can then jump to here. Obviously be careful not to fall off, and you can get him with your sword a few times. But yeah, lots of pausing in the game because of my using the save ability that I can only use since it's an emulator. I mean, I really feel sorry for anyone who has to do this without an emulator. I'm not recommending saving it frequently in the way that I do with an emulator because, well, that's not good. I know it's not good. I know that in a way it's cheating. You could argue that it is. You could argue that it isn't. Anyway, yeah. So because of the pausing and because I got hit a lot, it would just not look very good or sound very good. Showed off every mistake. So I've cut some bits out. Because of that, it might feel a little disjointed because of the way that editing has ended up working, affecting it, but hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully it'll be okay, and I should be able to get back to not editing out mistakes quite so frequently when I go back to the James Bond game, which I'll be doing soon. After this, in fact, this being the final episode. Now, there was a horrible echo on the last episode, as I noted, and that was on the recording, but for some reason when I put it onto YouTube, it didn't have that problem. So if you're confused about why I was saying all of those things on a video with no echo and saying there's a horrible echo on this, that's why. This took longer than I'm showing off, and this is long. I have to say, I realise that this is the final boss, but still, this is long, and I think it's actually harder the time you fight him as Phantom Ganon. Admittedly, you don't need to look at the paintings to find out where he's coming from, whether it's the real Ganon or not, and you don't have to fire arrows at him that way. But this just takes so long, you know. You don't just have to keep on hitting the energy balls back at him. You also need to hit him with an arrow successfully, and then need to jump over there successfully. So yeah, just because of the sheer length, I think this is a harder fight. Alright, this sort of Wydona is supposed to be and now I've forgotten what I was trying to say. Oh yeah, stained glass. I don't know if this is supposed to be stained glass or not, but I like the design of this room. As far as I can tell, those are impossible to dodge, and I'm just showing off what happens here so that you would understand, basically, what I'm trying to do, which is why I've stopped editing out my mistakes again. I sort of alternate between doing that and not doing that. You do have to make sure you don't run out of energy here. But yeah, you can clearly see what you have to do here. You can also see on top of that panel, that structure, that there was no point in climbing up in the last episode. I guess we must have got him on the neck. And yeah, that green stuff is definitely what you want to see whilst you're playing a computer game. Especially if you're watching this whilst you're eating. I apologise for that. I really like this effect as the stained glass or whatever it is starts to disintegrate. That's a really beautiful looking effect there, and it's a nice touch, I think. Anyway, I've messed around with the microphone volume a bit here. Hopefully the sound is better. Of course, it may turn out, because I have this new version of Windows on this new computer, that I can't actually play Bloodstone because it's not designed for Windows 10, but it is designed for Windows 8, so I'm hoping that won't be a problem. Anyway, we'll see. I promise you I will do my best. It doesn't look like there's a lot of breath left, but... Okay, you really seriously do get a game over if you don't do this quick enough. As long as you're ahead of her, you're doing fine time-wise. You'd have thought that you could just jump several left down. Yeah, and just end up on a lower path, if you see what I mean. But in fact, you can't. Game won't let you. Yeah, but if you get to there, basically, before she does, then you're doing okay, time-wise. And again, I don't know. I mean, there's that column again, but I'm not sure that you can actually get to it from upwards now. Ganon may have put the cover, the ceiling or whatever it is on it so that you can't actually get onto it. Those flaming rocks hurt, by the way, even wearing the go-on tunic. So try not to get too close to them. You should easily be able to make this, as long as you don't fall off. You know, I made it with about a minute to go, so... There are a couple of times when you have to be quite careful about not falling off, but... be fine. Of all of the episodes I've made, by the way, try not to do that. But yeah, you can see there that you can't just jump down to a lower level. For all the episodes I've made, I think this is one of my least favourites, just because I don't think it's actually that interesting. You fight a boss and then you run down here with a very long cutscene at the end. It's just not that interesting. That foul also hurt you, by the way. Now this is awkward, because if you kill one of these Stalfos, I've remembered what they're called. That's cool. Doesn't often happen nowadays. Anyway, if you kill one of them and then you take too long to kill the other one, the first one that you killed will come back to life. So, and of course you have the burden of time anyway, because only 2 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock. So yeah, you can see the pieces on the ground there. When a Stalfos does that after its death, that indicates it can bring itself back to life. I think there's more of that in Majora's Mask than there is in this game, but it does happen. I wish I had enough time to grab all of those hearts, but I'm not sure I did have enough time. I wasn't really looking at how many hearts I had. Actually, I did get enough to bring myself back to life. I was a bit more fussy than I had to be about saving at this point, I admit, during the fight with Ganon. I probably could have survived because I'm only getting half damage here. I think I had at least 2 fairies at this point, so yeah, I just didn't want to risk it, you know? See, at this point I didn't care that much about getting hit by rocks for the same reason. It's only taken away 3/4 of a heart, so I will never have more hearts than this. I will never have more sculptures than this. Yeah, I would. You can destroy that Gibd or whatever it is re-dead, but there isn't actually that much point. You might as well not do. See, I admitted that I did saves, but still, I've got about 45 seconds here, so. Now, who wants to guess whether, bearing in mind this is a computer game, whether Ganondorf has actually finally been destroyed, or whether he will come back to life in some new form somehow? Wouldn't that be a startling coincidence, since that happens in every other computer game? You know, who would possibly guess that? Presumably this thing's sinking into the basement. I'm not quite sure about the physics of how this building collapses this way, but if it does, it does. I'm also Not quite sure in terms of time travel whether or not it makes sense. Defeating Ganon now in the future won't necessarily... I don't know, I can't be bothered to work it out. No, it's not finally over. Every time someone says it's finally over, it's not. I really like Princess Zelda's adult form. Well, you know, Navi, you haven't done that much to help me at all during the entire game. You've pointed out some utterly pointless things. But apart from that, nothing. Unfortunately, nothing happens in the game at all if you don't run forwards here. It'd be nice to not bother to run forwards and, you know, just run backwards instead. But, wow. Again, who'd have guessed it? Ganondorf is actually still alive. It's not like that's something he does a lot. Oh, it's a new Zelda game. And look, Ganondorf is in it, inexplicably. So, yeah, he's turned into this demonic form of himself. By the way, those swords take away a lot of your damage. And there is apparently a glitch here where you can end up never getting the Master Sword back. Which actually, see later, makes it impossible to win. And Navi successfully manages to help you here by flying around aimlessly and not saying anything. And not attacking Ganondorf in any way. So that's the help, basically. I was hoping I still had the big Goron sword there, but apparently I don't. So if you don't have that, you need to use the hammer. I don't know how I ended up not having the big sword, I've forgotten. But it is useful to have it for this fight. Not sure if it actually works better, but no, attacking his crotch does not kill him. Or even hurt him that much. Because his swords, I mean, literally, not figuratively, get in the way. That brings up some uncomfortabilities. Oh well. I was saying only a couple of episodes ago that I tried to make this child friendly. I do like the fact that she screams when you get hurt. I thought that was a nice touch as well. Of course, apart from opening a couple of doors and managing to run from one place to another place, Princess Zelda has been utterly useless. I think Anita Sarkeesian would have something to say about that. I wish she wouldn't, but she probably would. This is quite epic, so I've left in a lot of my mistakes just because it felt right to show the epicness of this fight. At this point, as I said, plenty of fairies there, so I wasn't that worried about getting hurt either. Later on, I do cut out some of my mistakes, but I don't know why it says targets his face, since that's not something that's actually at all helpful at this point. Maybe Navi causes Z targeting to happen, and that's how she is useful. I don't know. I've always assumed Navi was a she. Maybe Navi is male. I'm glad Navi doesn't deliver now, because, you know, Navi wouldn't be good at that. Navi would just explain to you how letters work. You know, she'll just tell you that you write something on a piece of paper and then put it in an envelope. You'd be going, yes, people have done that. Can I actually see what they've written, please? You should be warned, some of the things I say are utter nonsense. I'm sure you're aware of that by now. Yeah, I cut out a few bits there. I've always figured, if it's getting boring for me, it must be getting boring for you too. Oh gee, don't bother to throw the sword at me! Or anything. Thank you for the incredible amount of work you've put into rescuing yourself. Princess Zelda, I can see why it would be so hard for you to pick up an inanimate object and throw it in my direction. Yeah, you're worth saving. You know that, just because of the hard work you put in to saving yourself. To be honest, I'm really not sure why I'm saving you. This is more of a I want Ganon to die sort of thing. So yeah, it took me a while to figure out what you have to do here. You have to shoot him with the light arrows here, and then get him on the tower. So this time, instead of getting on the tower with the hammer, you have to get him on the tower with the Master Sword. I don't know if getting him on the tower with a hammer would work here. It's actually quite hard when you can't see his tail to sort of determine which bit you should be attacking. I mean, I accept that Princess Zelda can't help you now because she's trapped on the other side of this fiery wall, but still, seriously, why couldn't she throw the sword at you? This fight just goes on for so long. I mean, much longer than I'm showing off here. Just Ganon's tower in general, it's just long enough to easily get sick of it. Either way, there's no tricks, like that. That's cool. Presumably the power couldn't penetrate fire. Does kind of look like she's run out of power there, but apparently she hasn't. I don't know if there's a time limit on you doing that, but all you have to do is approach and press the button for using the sword once. After all of us, he still isn't actually dead, because you need the sages to now do something too. So I was wrong, you do get to see the stages one last time. It's interesting, they're creators of Hyrule and yet they didn't know there were stages. Not quite sure how that works. I mean, surely some of them weren't even born at the time when Hyrule was created. Music's a bit loud here, sorry. I assume he's shouting, which is why this is in capitals. Curse you, Zelda, you have done nothing whatsoever. Yes, after all of this, he is not yet. And in fact, he will quite possibly never be dead. As long as this franchise is popular, he will keep on returning. I mean, seriously, Ganondorf is getting a bit boring now. Really, I don't know, 15 games after the original, maybe? Ah, well. Anyway. The unfortunate thing is that my emulator suddenly switches itself off in about 2 or 3 minutes from now, and the final scene is missing, and I've never gotten it to work. Even the first time I played this, I couldn't get it to work. It just turns itself off, and I have no idea why, but it crashes. I'm not sure. So I am saying this now because it's going to turn off abruptly. In the description section, I have put a link to a video of the last scene so that you can actually see it. The video created by someone else. I'm not quite sure who it is that I'm going to pick yet. Whilst recording this, but whoever it is, I fully acknowledge the fact that the video is theirs and not mine, and I would respectfully ask that they don't get annoyed that I've used their video. I don't know, maybe I'll ask their permission, I'm not sure yet. So I'm going to say now, whilst you enjoy watching the cutscene, I thought this was mostly a great game. A couple of things with Nintendo logic, or Nintendo illogicalness, that didn't quite make sense. The game is very long as well. Not necessarily a bad thing, but it did irritate me slightly. But apart from that, you know, it's a good game. It doesn't look perfect now, but it is over 16 years old, if I'm right. So, yeah, good game. I've enjoyed it, and I'm going to be very happy to not record another episode of it ever again. Much as I liked it, I am a bit tired of it now. And I thought I would end this on an appropriate note. Goodbye.